What's good, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy, Mr. Cheap Sense. Freshly shaven head, beard trimmed up, looking much, much better. But first off, let me say this. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. After you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit the bell, the little symbol in the right-hand corner of your phone. It'll ring, and then a little icon gonna pop up. Hit all, so you get all content uploaded by me from this channel, Mr. Cheap Sense. I did make it easier for myself to remember the name of my Instagram page. It is now Mr. Cheap Sense. So just type in Mr. Cheap Sense, all one word, no spaces, and you'll be able to find me now. So you can stop laughing at me about me not remembering my Instagram name, because now it is Mr. Cheap Sense. Thirdly, if you want to be friends with me on Facebook, send me a friend request. But make sure you message me and let me know who the hell you are. If I do not know who you are and your page is full of stuff other than fragrances, then I'm naturally not going to accept it, because there are a lot of fake pages and all this kind of crap going on, and I don't want to deal with any more of that stuff. So please do that. Make sure you're active in the comment section. Make sure you leave a comment, a suggestion, anything. I'm open to anything. I love constructive criticism, as long as you're not on there talking about shave your beard and put a shirt on and, you know, do some monkey backflips, or, you know, whatever you think I should be doing, because this is my channel, not yours. So, you know, whatever the case may be. And right now, the topic, and first off, let me get this out of the way. The fragrance I wore today is from the house of Christian Dior, and it is Dior Homme Intense, which is a very popular fragrance in the fragrance community. I never had this one before. I have smelled some Dior fragrances before. I had this one. This actually came from Matt over at Georgia Gent in a trade that we did not too long ago, and this was a full bottle that he gave me. I know what it's worth, and it just is what it is. And I actually love this fragrance, so I sprayed this on, and I actually did get one compliment, because really I was only around one person, but I did get a compliment while wearing this today. Great fragrance. I'm pretty sure you all know about this fragrance. Excuse me. If you don't, then where have you been all of these years? This is a great fragrance, and I love it personally. It is on the expensive side. Dior fragrances usually don't come down that much in price, if any. So if you want this one, you may want to try to find it online somewhere. If not, I don't know what else to tell you. There are alternatives out there, fragrances that smell similar to this. Henceforth, this is what is going to lead to the conversation that we're about to have. And it is, even though this is not a clone, we're talking about clone houses. Now, I don't know if anybody tagged me in this video, because I really haven't seen, or watched, I should say, too many of the tag videos on clones. I've been pretty advocate about clones and clone houses. I love clones and clone houses, especially if they perform well, especially for the prices. I personally don't see myself going out and spending the price you would pay for this, which is like 80, 90, 100 and something dollars for something like this, when there's a clone house that can put out something that smells something similar to it, 90, 95, 98, 97% accurate on smell. You're never going to get an exact carbon copy of a fragrance. I don't think so. You can get something that's damn near close to it. It may smell just like it, but to some people, they'll be able to tell the difference. most people you walk past or you're around when they smell fragrances, they're not gonna, unless they're a true frag head, they're not gonna say, "Oh, you smell like, you got on such and so," because they're 9 times out of 10 not gonna know, the average person. But anyway, great fragrance, by the way. But this video is about cologne houses. And before we get to the end of this video, I'm not tagging anybody in this specific situation. So if you want to put in your 2 cents, just go ahead and do so, because I don't know who's been tagged already. I don't know if I was tagged or anything like that. I seen a few of the videos a few minutes ago, and I decided to go ahead and give my 2 cents. So that's what I'm going to do. So cologne houses. There are people that get butthurt when it comes to cologne houses because they feel like, oh my God, cologne houses take away from the money of the originators of these fragrances. Oh my goodness. I can't believe that cologne houses do the things that they do. Oh, they just make it hard for, blah, 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 whatever. Anyway, for somebody like me who doesn't have the perfect job making 6 figures or some extremely out there number, on a paycheck, I'm the average guy. I make between 30, 40, maybe 50 grand a year, depending. I don't have that kind of money to just go out and give away $100 every time I feel like, I want to go buy a cologne today, and I'm just going to run across the street to Belk's or Ulta and go spend, 80, 90, 100, 200, $300 on a fragrance. That's not me. I don't see myself doing it unless, like I said, I had the job that would allow me to do so, as far as like being financially stable enough to, or I won the lottery. Other than that, I don't see myself in my current life stage going and buying any expensive fragrance whatsoever. Anything over $50 has me sitting there thinking. I'll stand there for like an hour just debating in a store whether I should pick up something and buy it because it's $45, $50 and up. I'm like, do I really want to spend that kind of money? Like, if you have to second guess yourself on buying something other than is the performance going to be good or not, if you standing there and you see the price tag and you stand there for as long as I do in the store, you don't need to buy it. Which makes cologne houses great. Example, Creed Aventus. I know I use Creed Aventus or the House of Creed as an example for a lot of my talks when it comes to overly priced fragrances. I think that should be a little bit cheaper. I know the ingredients cost and all this kind of stuff, and there are going to be some people who disagree with what I say. That's just too bad. It's my fucking opinion, so it is what it is. But I, for one, am not going to go out and spend those kind of prices for Creed Aventus when there are cologne houses that make fragrances that smell similar to it that I can get away with, and I've gotten more compliments with. I've worn several samples of Creed Aventus and have not gotten one compliment. But when I wore colognes, I always get some kind of compliment, even if it's just one. Case in point, I didn't pay for this one, but from what I understand, this is pretty inexpensive. This is from Al Haramain. This is Lavender, which is a clone Creed Aventus copy. Smells great. Performance on it is average, I'll say. Not bad when I wore it. Got compliments with this one. This actually was given to me. It was a partial bottle, and I actually want another bottle of this. There's not that much left. I probably can get a few wearings out of this, but there's not much left. I do actually want another bottle of this. The bottle is kind of odd. I really don't like the bottle, but it is what it is. It's cool. Kind of reminds me of Encre Noir, but a little bit bigger. But this is a great clone. Next up, one of my favorite clones. Back when I first started learning about clones, is from the House of Insurrection. This is Insurrection Pure 2. another Creed Aventus cologne. Now, I'm not fond of Mont Blanc's Explorer. I've smelled it several times, and to me, it doesn't smell that good, just to my nose. But I love this one. Yes, this does have a somewhat synthetic, maybe generic type vibe to it. I hate synthetic and generic, but that's the only words I can come up with to describe it. Even the pineapple that's in this does not smell like real pineapple. It smells like something made in a lab somewhere. But this got me compliments. Performance is average to just below average. Not bad. I don't mind reapplying if need be. But for like $20-something, you can't beat it. And this is right up somebody's alley, especially a newbie who's coming into the game who doesn't really need to, unless they're, you know, a spoiled rich kid or they got a good job or something. Then they can go out and buy the original Creed Aventus. Other than that, about $20-something, you can get this and not break the bank. And if you're disappointed, you won't be mad. You spent $20-something. I'd be highly pissed if I spent $250, $100, let me say $90 to maybe $400 or $500 for just say some kind of fragrance that's, you know, popular at the time. I get it and spray it on and it lasts a couple of hours and then it's gone. That's not acceptable. I would much rather spend this type money, $20-some odd, $30-some odd, and be you know what I'm saying, not so disappointed, other than spending $300, $400, and $500. So there's another alternative. Another alternative in which I don't see this one as being a Creed clone. To me, it just doesn't give enough of the vibe to even be considered a clone. But this is from the house of Cremo. This is Bergamot and Musk. And this is one that has actually been discontinued. And for the ones who love this, I'm not a big fan of it. This is just right up somebody's alley who is looking for an inexpensive Creed type fragrance. About $20-some odd if you can still find it. You know, there's another alternative. I recently ran into another alternative to a Creed fragrance. And this is from the house of Parfums Arbuson Paris from the private collection. This one is called Plush Leather. And you probably seen these bottles starting to pop up at TJ Maxx. This smells actually pretty good. For $14.99. Not bad. Performance on it is not that good. I got maybe a few hours out of it, maybe 2.5, 3 hours, but that's mainly because I didn't go heavy on the sprays. I wasn't sure. I just did a couple of sprays and went to my second job, which is a paper mill, and it stinks out there. But I will try this one again. But it does have a Creed Aventus vibe to it. And for somebody who is just getting their feet wet, I don't think this is a bad buy. Or if somebody's looking for something for their teenager and don't want to spend a lot of money, like somebody that asked me that this morning, they had an 11-year-old that was wanting some fragrances, and you know, if you're not wanting to break the bank on a teen that's really probably not gonna care, probably not even gonna wear it that much anyway, hey, look into something like this. $14.99, you can't go wrong. They have one called Salted Vetiver also. This smells actually pretty good. The Plush Leather smells similar. It's like a generic oh shit, I almost dropped it. Smells like a generic version of any other clone of Creed Aventus. Sensual Obsessions, I didn't pull that one out, but they have one called Double Aventus. They have Aventus Cologne. They have so many other fragrances that they cloned or copied that are pretty inexpensive also. So check out Sensual Obsessions. Also, you have another fragrance house like Alt Fragrances, which I have here, Executive, which I believe is a clone of Office for Men by Jeremy Fragrance, and their fragrances are great. I have 6. I only think I wore 2 so far, so I need to go through the other 4. But Alt Fragrances is pretty damn good. Alexandria is another clone house. This one is Zion, and Zion gets love and hate, but I'm one of the ones who love Zion. Smells great to me. But Alexandria is another fragrance house that does a damn good job. Now, I know a lot of people, when it comes to Alexandria and, you know, fragrance houses like that, you know, only do 30, 60 ml or whatever, and the prices are kind of up there. For 30 ml, you're going to pay what, like 40 something, 50 something dollars, something like that, I'm guessing. Whatever the case may be. Some people may not see that as a deal, but what you're getting juice wise, I don't think is too bad. And you have another house like Dior, and I'm just grabbing these. I just grabbed what I saw off my shelf. Dior is another great clone house, very potent. Price may be a little bit steep for these little bottles, but hey, you're getting extrait de parfum, so you're getting very good concentrated juice. They last. I can vouch for that because I have several of these that I've accumulated either from other subscribers being generous enough to order something for me and gift it to me for free, or I have traded for something. But they're another good clone house. Speaking of Sensual Obsessions, their version of Polo Red Intense is not bad. The Polo Red Intense original, the real deal, doesn't perform well. But Kevin from Sensual Obsessions, his juices are potent as hell. And for what you're getting, I think they're well worth the price. You can't beat it. And a house like this is just good for a teenager also. If he's looking for something like Polo Red Intense and you want it to last, go for it. They also clone Bleecker Street from Bond Number 9. Another good one. I don't talk about this one much, but it is pretty good, but it's not my favorite. My favorite is Andy Warhol. And oh my freaking God. I love Andy Warhol by Sensual Obsessions. Now, I've never gotten my nose on the original Andy Warhol because it's discontinued. I would love to get a sample of it just to see if I can compare the two. But what I get from this, Kevin did a bang-up job, or whoever does his perfuming for him did a bang-up job on this one. I have been an advocate ever since I smelled this one. His Lime in the Sky is great also. So Kevin over at Sensual Obsessions does his thing. Another clone house that I fell in love with is our Moth. And I'm not in love with them like I used to be, because now, from what I've been understanding, not just them, but Zara also, which is another I can call clone house. But when they first started their line or fragrance company, our Moth was the talk of the town, and Club de Nuit Intense Man was at the forefront. If you're looking for a Creative Vintage clone, something that's going to perform 8+ hours, hands down. To some people, they cry about having a harsh opening. I don't see it. It doesn't bother me. I love this fragrance for what it is. The dry down is amazing. A compliment getter no matter what situation. This is year round. I have nothing bad to say about this fragrance whatsoever. Everybody else complains about reformulation and all that crap, and this is actually my first bottle period since this came out, and it just is what it is with me. So this has been my workhorse for Creative Vintage. And yes, I know I have other clones, but this one is the workhorse for me. And as long as I have this one, I'm really not looking for anything else. Yes, I do have some other clones, but this is the end all be all for me as of now, especially for the price. 30 some odd dollars, you can have this, and it's year round. Another clone from the same house. If you're familiar with Green Irish Tweed from Creed, then Trace Nuit is the way to go. Some people don't like it because they say it's too sweet, and I don't see it. It smells great to me. I got mad compliments every time I wore this. If you want to know what I said, go back and watch the video I did on this one. If paying for Dior Sauvage is a problem, in which the prices really don't come down, then even though this bottle is ugly as hell, our Moth has Ventana, which is a Dior Sauvage clone. Smells almost identical with a little less of that pepper note. The so-called ambroxan that's in this one is not so sharp. It does smell kind of generic, but it is what it is, and it did the job for me. I got compliments when I wore this, and I also see a few subscribers or people on Facebook that post their collections. I always seem to see this tucked away under a shelf or in the back somewhere. I can always pick out one of these bottles. This has also been a workhorse for me before I got the Eau de Parfum from the mayor of Detroit. So that is my take on clone houses. And if you don't think I'm into clone houses, I just showed you what, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What was it? 8 different houses. Yeah, I just showed you 8 different clone houses. So, and I got plenty more. I just didn't pick everything out to show. This video would have been long and drawn out, and I don't have that kind of time, and I really didn't want to go through all of that. So, with that being said, I'm a big advocate of clone houses. I love clone houses. I love the price points of clone houses. I just feel like people need to stop being so uptight and bougie and butthurt when it comes to somebody mentioning something about a clone. This is not that serious. People get so bent out of shape when it comes to talking about fragrances, and especially their favorite fragrances. Nobody's going to take it away from you. You don't have to act like a kid that has a piece of candy and you're trying to reach over and they're thinking that you're trying to take it from them and they're hiding it. You don't have to do that. It's your fragrances. This is just our opinions. So get out your feelings. It's not that serious. And if some of these companies would lower some of these prices, maybe clone houses would probably go away. But you never know, because you won't come down in your prices. With that being said, I think clone houses are going to be here to stay for a while, so you might as well just get used to it. With that being said, here is Two Smelling Great. Be sure to like, comment, share these videos. Don't let the subscribing stop. Just because I'm almost at 1,500, I don't want it to stop. I want it to keep going. I want to grow just like everybody else is growing. So make sure you share these videos. Make sure you're telling people about it. Spread the word. Let them know Mr. Cheap Sense is for real. He's honest. And I'm always reachable. The ones of you who know me, who reach out to me when they can, they know I answer my phone when I'm accessible, which is always. You want to video chat, you want to call me, you want to message me through any means, email, whatever. I'm open to all of it. Before I go, Cali Gent, I know me and you've been trying to link up and do a collab video. As soon as you're ready again, let me know. I have to find the, I have to get the app so I'll be able to do the live stream with you or whatever, so we can share with each other, because I don't think I have the same thing. Matt from Georgia Gent, I've gotten the information from him before, but I forgot. It slipped my mind. So once we get that situated, we'll get this video done. Tomorrow, me and Matt are supposed to get together and do a collab. I guess I'm not going to spill the beans, but we're going to do a collab tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Alfonso, I was supposed to get up with you today, and we were going to do a video at some of your stores in Jacksonville, Florida. Things came up, and I mentioned that to you last night before today even started, that if something came up, you know, it is what it is. Business, my kids in business before pleasure. But we will hook up sometime soon in the near future. Just be patient. It's going to happen. I'm not dodging people. I'm not doing anything stupid. Anytime you message me or anybody calls me, I always answer my phone. I've been getting messages on and off all day long from people just asking questions and wanting to talk and all this kind of stuff. So I'm always around. I'm just, you know, I have a life just like everybody else. But with that being said, I am out of here, y'all. Anybody wanting to do this video, I'm not tagging anyone. Just do your thing. It is what it is. I'm out. Peace.